Hello friends, welcome to Vedanta IAS Academy YouTube channel. This is Current Affairs Today video series. Today is 6th October 2022 and in this video we will be discussing about all the important articles that are being published in today's newspaper. The news sources are very authentic like PIB, The Hindu, Indian Express, Down to Earth and several other newspapers in which relevant articles are published related to your examination. So let's start the video and see which are the topics that we are going to cover in today's video. Our very first topic would be mosquitoes that can't spread malaria anymore. Second topic is online building plan approval system. Third topic is Her Start. And our last topic of the video is WHO and ILO call for new measures to tackle mental health issues at work. Before starting with the topic, I would insist you to please like, share and subscribe Vedanta IAS Academy YouTube channel. You can follow our other social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn so that you can get every updates regarding all our courses and many other things, right? So let's start with the very first topic. The headline goes like this. This news has been published in Indian Express along with other newspapers also. So friends, you should be very clear that any news which are important for your examination, it would not only be published in one newspaper, they will be published in several newspapers. So any of the sources can be used over here, but we will be taking care that the sources which are used are very authentic. So the headlines over here goes like this. New research, scientists engineer mosquitoes that can't spread malaria, offer hope of eradicating disease. Now we know very well malaria is a disease which is being spread by mosquitoes and these mosquitoes are genetically modified. So we'll see into detail what are the things which has been done over here. So let's see what is in the news. In news it is being told that scientists, they have genetically modified mosquitoes and after this modification what happens, the malaria causing parasites which grows in mosquitoes gut. You can see these are the guts with which mosquitoes bite human beings. So these parasites do not grow anymore. Hence, the transmission of malaria is reduced, right? And how this transfer of malaria takes place? We know that any human beings who are being suffering from malaria, these mosquitoes bite those human beings and the parasites of mosquitoes grow in their guts. And again, when these mosquitoes flies and bites other human beings which are not suffering from malaria, they will get infected and malaria would be transmitted to them. So this is how malaria is particularly transferred in one human to another human through these mosquitoes. Now, if we study about life cycle of malaria, that means how this malaria happens. So it is a huge life cycle. We're not going very detailed into it. I'll be telling just in brief whatever so that you can understand properly. So generally malaria is caused by Anopheles mosquitoes. So over here, this is a female mosquitoes. This causes malaria to human beings. So how it happens, I've already told you. Any human being who are suffering from malaria, the cells which multiply and growth in humans liver cell and ultimately transfer into humans blood, and when malaria feed on human blood and the malaria get infected with malaria disease and parasite goes into their guts, and again when those mosquitoes bite another human beings, those human beings are being affected with malaria. So this is how life cycle of malaria goes and you can see this in detail in this image, right? Now talking about the stats, there are only 10% of mosquitoes who live long enough to get infected or let the parasite grow into the guts. If we talk about the normal life cycle, so female mosquitoes generally grows from 42 to 56 days. This is the life cycle of a female mosquitoes who live longer than male mosquitoes. The life of male mosquitoes is almost around 10 days. So don't go with this data. These are not exact data. They may vary from one source to another. This is a general data which I've given, like the life cycle of female mosquito is around 42 to 56 days, whereas life cycle of male mosquito is 10 days, right? And malaria is very devastating disease globally. It's not that it is only caused in India. This is a very devastating disease throughout the world. And almost half of the world population is infected or suffering from malaria. You know what happened after malaria? If anyone is suffering from malaria, the temperature of the body goes high and there are other symptoms also. We'll not be talking about those. But according to stats in 2021, around 241 million people were infected by malaria, and out of these 241 million, 627 people were killed. That means they died out of malaria, right? Now, what is then research? What is the research that has been done? So this research has been done in Institute of Disease Modeling at Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And what they found or they developed a model where they can study the impact of such modification. They genetically altered the mosquitoes, and after altering the mosquitoes, the major challenge was to how to spread these mosquitoes. As these mosquitoes has been altered in lab, now they need to be fed into the wild so that they can breed upon and generate new mosquitoes which are not able to grow the parasite of causing malaria and transferring the disease from one people to another people, right? So this was all about the research what is being done. Now next topic is online building plan approval system. This is from GS paper 2 and it has been published in PIB. Now what is this online building plan approval system? So let's see what is in news. So over here, government has approved the extension of online building plan approval system. Extension means that there is nothing new over here. It was already available. It is just that the date has been extended, right? If it was valid for 1 year, they have extended the validity of this plan approval system for further years, right? And this has been done under eChawni portal. For how many areas? For 5 cantonment boards. What are those 5 cantonment boards? These are Agra, Ranikhet, Babina, Jammu and Kannur. Right, Cantonment. Now over here we got several terms, like we need to understand what is this eChawni portal, what is this cantonment board, and again at the last we'll understand what is this online building plan approval system. So let's start with cantonment boards. Over here you can see how the website of eChawni looks, right? Over here you can see the screenshot. Now starting with the cantonment boards, or what is this cantonment area? So this is not a new concept. Right from the British area, when Britishers were ruling in India, this concept has been developed. And this cantonment area or the board, these are the area where military population and installation are accommodated. Like means the people from military, they stay in these areas. And it is not that only military population live over here. It comprises of both military as well as civilian population, and these cantonment area are different from military station. It's not similar to military station. Over here it is purely meant for training and accommodating the armed force, right? Now what are these cantonment boards? Now for organization or for administration of cantonment areas, a cantonment board is required, and these boards are classified into 4 categories from class 1 to class 4. You can see over here. And how does vary? So it depends upon the size and area of the population. Like if one cantonment board is of bigger size, the administration would be bigger if compared to the smaller ones. In class 1 cantonment, there are 8 elected civilians and 8 government military members. So as we know that cantonment area consists of both population, military as well as civilians. So the administrative body must consist of equal members from both the communities, like from military area and from the civilians. So in class 1, 8 members are elected from civilians and 8 members are elected from government military, right? Whereas in case of class 4 cantonment, they have got only 2 elected civilians and 2 government military members, as the area is small compared to class 1. Okay, and again, as I said, this board is responsible for various aspects, like whatever the cantonment administration is required. So this board will be responsible for every activities that goes on over there. Now, what would be the significance of this? After the extension of online building plan approval system under 5 more cantonment board, so it will enhance the speed, accuracy, consistency, and transparency in process of building plan. Now what is this building plan? We know, like if some area, like if we consider this is a big area, and in this there is a particular military people, or you can say cantonment people living over here. Out of this area, and this area is protected. Now any building which has to be constructed over here, they need a proper approval from these people, because this is concern of our country's security. So for this very purpose, for taking approval from these people for building any construction in these area, this portal has been developed, right? Now after increasing this extension, this residents living in 22 cantonment board can benefit from this plan, right? Now at the end we'll see what is this online building plan approval system. And we know that there is always tussle between the civilians and military if they are living together. Like civilians would say that they are facing problem due to those military people, they are being restricted in some area, and again those military has their own concern about the security of the country. So these tussles go on. So therefore this online building plan approval system can help to sort out few of them. Now what is this OBPS, online building plan approval system? So this is a standardized the application form. Now earlier people had to apply through online and they needed to upload 10 documents. But now after updating, they only need to submit their 4 documents for approval. And earlier there was some mandatory provision, like some field inspection has to be done before construction starts. But now they have been taken away. But there are several cases, like if there is old grant property, in that case, if it is outside the civil area, in that case, a field inspection has to be done. Now the entire building plan, whichever has been submitted, they will be processed within a very short time. It would only take from 2 days to 11 days. Earlier it might be more, but now it won't take too long. And the area can be within or outside the civil area, right? Now what is the process of submission? So there is an online portal, eChawni. Over here, any applicant or the architect, whoever are designing a building, they can submit the building plan drawing in electronic development control regulation format. So there's a particular format. If you have to write your examination, or if you're writing your mains examination, there is particular format, not any strict format, but you know what is the format. Like if you have to write the introduction, detail and conclusion. So if this is a format, so you have to follow certain format for submitting the online building plan, right? And after that, at the end, the plan will be automatically checked and validated as per the building parameters by laws. Now, according to the Cantonment Board, there would be some laws and building parameters which would be set in the electronic portal, and that would be automatically verified and approved, and after that the construction can start. So this was all about online building plan approval system. And at the end, we'll see about Each-Havani. Each-Havani is an online portal. We've already seen that. Over here, 62 Cantonment Board are settled, and which can be used by citizens to get all the information regarding the Cantonment Board. Now, and Cantonment Board also provides certain facilities like trade license, public grievances, online challan payment system, self-generation challan, lease renewal, birth and death certificate, online OPD registration. Lots of things are there which are offered by these people, military people, to civilians, and civilians can benefit from these Each-Havani portal, right? So this was all about Each-Havani portal. Our next topic is Her Start. So over here we can see the headline: President Draupadi Murmu launches Her Start, a startup platform of Gujarat University for women entrepreneurs. This comes under GS paper 2 as well as GS paper 3. So let's see what is in news. As in news, I said the President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu, launched Her Start, a startup platform of Gujarat University in Ahmedabad. So here there is a term startup. I think you already might be aware of the startup, but still I would like to brief you about the startup so that you can better understand what it actually means. So over here, startup, this definition has been taken from Investopedia. Here, startup means a company in the first stage of operation. That means any company which has been started initially and they are in first stage of operation, that would be a startup. Generally, the startup companies, venture organization, whatever they are focused on single products or services for a huge market. Let's take example of Physics Wala. This is a big unicorn company. Apart from this, if we take to education system, Unacademy, Byju's, Ola, Uber, Oyo, these are startups. Once they were startup, again still now they are startups. They focus on single thing, single product or services for a big market, like throughout the country, right? And initially the companies of startup, they don't have adequate business model, like they don't have complete business model, and apart from that they even don't have adequate capital to start their operations. Generally, the capital or the money which are required for the running company, they are funded by the founders themselves, right? So this is all about the startup. If we talk about startup, we can go on, it will never end. This is a huge topic, so we have to stick to the topics which are relevant to examination. So I'm moving forward. Now, what is this platform? So in this platform, around 450 startup working in the campus of Gujarat has been administered, in which 125 women-led startups are being actively supported by this university, right? And in this 125 women-led startup, 15,000 women entrepreneurs are associated. It may be online or offline. They are anyhow associated with these startups, right? And with this help of this platform, how it will help? So it will prove to be a very effective platform. Like it will connect the women entrepreneurs from one entrepreneur to another entrepreneurs. And apart from this, there are government, private enterprises or government benefits. These all will be there on single platform. They can connect to each other. They can engage with each other. They can change their knowledge, information, and many things can be done on this platform, right? And there were certain things which has been announced by our president in her speech, like she also mentioned that India has moved to 81st position to 40th position. Like earlier, India's position of Global Innovation Index of 2022, earlier before than this, it was 81st, and in 2022 it is 40th position. That means India has gained the position. In innovation index, India has improved a lot. Apart from this, the school dropout rate. What does mean school dropout rate? Like, and especially for tribal community. If any tribal community children are taking admission in school, they won't last long. Like if they take admission today, they may study for 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, and after that they may drop out or take off the admission due to certain reasons. They might have to work for their livelihood with their parents. There might be multiple reasons of school dropout of tribal community. Now, what are the benefits? How this school dropout rate has been reduced? So there are many programs like Van Bandhu Kalyan Yojana, Eklavya Model Residence School, Kanya Nivasi Shala, and these are very much things which has been functional in several states and helped the school dropout rate to reduce. Now again, the president, she has appreciated the project upgrading infrastructure about 20,000 schools of the state. Like, and this is all we are talking about Gujarat state, as the speech was done in Gujarat. So that's why most of the things has been talked about Gujarat only. So over here, as we mentioned over here, around 20,000 schools of the state infrastructure had been increased or improved under the mission of School of Excellence. And at the end, India's first education quality and monitoring cell, Garima cell, it has been established for evaluation of higher education. We know that government of every country, even in India, for higher education, countries spend lots of money. Like if you are going to do any research or anything, if you're going to for higher education, masters, research, postdoctoral, so government funds these projects so that students are benefit and they can study properly without any problems. So these are the few highlights which our president highlighted during the speech. Our last topic is WHO and ILO call for new measures to tackle mental health issue at work. This comes under GS paper 2. Now, what are the headlines over here? In news, it has been mentioned that World Health Organization and International Labour Organization, they have called for concrete action to address mental health concern in working population. We know that most of the population in world, they are working somewhere or the other. Most of the people are working in some or the other company, either factory or they're providing any kind of services. And all of these people, most of the people are suffering from one or the other mental health issues. Now, what are the major findings of this report? Over here, they have found that around 12 billion work days are lost annually. And this costs around $1 trillion. And what is the reason behind this? This is depression and anxiety. We know that if anyone is suffering from any kind of ailments, whether it is physical or mental, the productivity will reduce. And when the productivity will be reduced over here, the loss of working days along with the money has been seen. And if we sum out throughout the world, it has been seen that it lasts around 12 billion working days and $1 trillion economy, right? We know that good mental health, whoever are in good mental health, they will be working very productively. And a good working environment also counts to good mental health. In WHO World Mental Health Report 2022, it has shown that people living with a mental disorder in 2019, it was 15% of working age and adult experience mental disorder. Like if 1 billion people are living with mental disorder, 15% working adult. Now, if this is talking about the entire population, if we consider population of 1 billion, and in this 15% of working population, they are suffering with one or the other mental experiences, mental disorders, right? And the societal issues, there are only not working orders, there are some societal issues also which negatively affect the mental disorder, like bullying and psychologically violence. Bullying, you know, like if any companies there is some short or fat people, so people start or the colleagues start bullying them. So this is also a major complaint of workplace harassment. And discussing or disclosing these mental health also remains a very big taboo. People are not ready to disclose that they are suffering from some mental issues, especially in our country, in India. If we talk about India, people don't consider this as a problem. If anyone is suffering due to depression or anxiety, they don't consider it as a problem. They think that this is a normal thing and we can manage it easily. But again, this is a very major concern, and because of this, lots of losses are there, including working days along with the money and productivity. WHO Mental Health Atlas, they found that only 35% of countries have national program for work related to mental health promotion and prevention. That means only 35% of countries have something to tackle these issues. Apart from this, 65% of countries do not worry about this. They are not majorly concerned about this issue. And in COVID-19, 25% of increase in general anxiety and depression worldwide has been seen. Because during COVID-19, we have seen lots of work has been stopped and people were forced to stay at their home. Some people were working, they lost their works, and lots of things were seen during COVID-19. What are the measures that can be taken to reduce this mental disorder? So managing worries about close one, like if you are closely related to someone and if you find them depressed or if they are anxious, you can take care of them. And there are mental health training programs. People can go through these, they can promote these programs, training programs, and mental health literacy can be imparted to people so that mental issue can be reduced. And again, at the end, people with mental health condition can be supported so that they can become productive. At the end, the constitutional provision that has been provided for mental health condition over here, right to health. In Indian Constitution under Article 21, this is fundamental right of every human being for mental health care. Next is National Mental Health Program. So this is being mentioned or made to address the huge burden of mental disorder and shortage of qualified professionals. Like we know psychiatrists are required to take care of these mental health issues. So there might be some shortage of these qualified professionals. So this organization, National Mental Health Program, takes care of these things. Mental Health Care Act 2017, and at the end, Kiran Helplines also is helpful for these mental issues, right? So this was all about today's video. Thank you for watching today's video. I insist you to please like, share and subscribe Vedanta IAS Academy YouTube channel. See you tomorrow with new topics. Till then, goodbye.